Welcome back to Section 4 Fans, the podcast with real fans, real takes. We got episode 31 here, and it's all about the postseason. We're going to be giving our first round Stanley Cup playoff predictions, as well as breaking down our first round NBA playoff predictions before we head to the pitch to talk soccer, the teams making waves and the ones that have been crashing hard. Playoff energy is here, so let's get into it. Good to be back, Carter, once again. Keep it rolling, keeping it rolling.
A little bit of breaking news that I just saw. You probably already knew this about Will Anderson Jr.
Yep, mega deal. Highest
Record.
non-paid quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So congrats to him. Hell of a defensive weapon the Texans have there. Hopefully
And
they
also, Eagles to operate and draft as if A.J. Brown will be traded.
Interesting. I think that's an interesting statement to come out with.
So that just shows they're going after a wide receiver or what?
I mean,
Or trading up, maybe?
yeah, I think value-wise, you'll deal with less headaches. Also, there is quite a bit of physical receivers, kind of like that A.J. Brown play style. So definitely someone to mix well with Devonta Smith, because you got that little speed guy there, not a very big guy. So if you can draft one of those guys that can go up and get the ball, and definitely a little bit of some muscle onto him, that's going to give you another good option there, especially without the A.J. Brown drama. I also saw something that they're also not locked into Jalen Hurts either. From what I've seen to reports, they're not giving him an extension. They're waiting on this year.
Trying to see how he does. Take the risk. If he struggles, you offer him a lot less money. Or, I mean, just see how they do this year.
Exactly. The NFL is going to be shaking it up this year. I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens. But I think I'll imagine we're going to touch on the draft in next week's episode. Mm-hmm. We'll probably do that as day 2 is happening, I'd imagine. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I think the draft is going to be pretty great. I'll be interested to see what do those guys go and go to what place exactly. But as one season is starting to get into the swing of things, we got a couple sports coming to a close. We've got NHL and NBA kind of getting the season wrapped up here as they're entering playoffs. NBA's been in playoffs the past couple days with the play-in games, and NHL regular season just wrapped up last night, and we got the first round matchups on Saturday.
Do you like the play-in games?
Yeah, I kind of like the play-in games. Obviously, there's a lot of money behind it. That's part of the reason why they've expanded that. Yeah, I mean, the games have been pretty great from what I've seen. I know the Clippers-Warriors game was pretty good to watch. They were down quite a bit. I think it was 13, 14 points. Warriors were down, and they came back and knocked off the Clippers, ended their season, and gave a lottery pick to the Thunder. So not what you want to see as an NBA fan there. But the Trailblazers had a great game against the Suns, another great matchup. That pretty much came down to the wire as well. You go over to the East, and you had a great game in Charlotte, Miami. That was incredible. Besides the technical difficulties there by Amazon Prime in overtime, which is not the place to have those difficulties. But
what happened?
About the last minute of OT, it was like a three-point game or a 6-point game, and the screen just went black, and then technical difficulties for about 2 minutes. And when it came back, it was now 20 seconds left in the game, and the Hornets were like up by 3 or down by 3, something like that.
The problem with these streaming platforms, some of them just can't handle.
They can't handle the interface.
Yeah.
But that was a great game there. Hornets came out on top into the Heat season pretty early. And the other game was Sixers Magic, and that went exactly how I expected. Obviously, my pick early in the year, if you go back a couple episodes, I was rolling with the Magic, rolling high. But, yeah, Paolo Banchero has not been the guy he was thought to be. And this episode of Section for Fans was recorded on April 17th, prior to the final 2 play-in matches. But obviously, we got the last 2 play-in games tonight. So we got the Warriors and the Suns. and we've got the Hornets and the Magic trying to fight for the last spot in each conference. Thoughts
Hornets
on
are hot.
who you think is going to win those matchups, and then we could go into the first round predictions there.
Hornets are hot, and I think every single person uh that is paying attention to basketball somewhat wants to see the Hornets play the Pistons in the
Oh,
first round.
that is going to be one of the best matchups. If that is the matchup, I'm going to be very excited. They've obviously have had some bad blood in their games. I believe they played like once or twice throughout the regular season, and both games were incredible, very physical games. And I can only imagine what we'd see in a best of seven series. So I think, without a doubt, that's one of the games and matchups that the fans want to see. So, the Hornets are rolling. I think they can knock off the Magic there. As I mentioned, they kind of got some locker room stuff that I think is going to affect their play. The next matchup we
Hold on, the
got,
other thing with the playing, the winning, you see it in other sports. The team that, like wild card games, for example,
yeah, catch
like
fire.
baseball, they catch fire with a win. All of a sudden, they're rolling.
Yeah,
Magic just lost again, like you said, the locker room tension or whatever's going on there plays an effect on this. Do guys really want to play for a head coach that's not going to be there next year?
yeah. I mean, that's just
Like,
from what the reports I've been seeing. And so I'd imagine that's there's definitely some truth behind the walls of that locker room there. So yeah, I think it just lines up that the Hornets should be able to take this game. Hopefully they do. By the time I'm editing this and I get this out, hopefully the Hornets have won that matchup and are facing the Pistons.
mhm.
The next matchup we got tonight to get that 8 seed in the West is the Warriors Suns. Suns got a bad loss against the Trailblazers a couple days ago, and the Warriors with a huge win over the Clippers. This game's very exciting. Another Dylan Brooks, Draymond Green matchup there. So we can expect a lot of fouls in this game. But, as much as the Suns have been, consistently a playoff squad, as they've been 7 seed most of the year, they now find themselves in this game for the 8 seed. I do think the Warriors could get it done there. I think Curry's just the type of player that's going to do anything in his power to get to win the game, basically. And we saw against the Clippers with Draymond Green locking down Kawhi Leonard, especially in the second half. That was huge for the Warriors to be able to come back from that deficit and get that win there. So I think if you got a good defender in Draymond Green and you could get a great, 30, 40 point night out of Curry, I think it's all looking good for the Warriors. So that's going to be my pick there.
Yeah, I'd have to go with the Warriors as well, just based off playoff experience.
100%.
Obviously, Steph Curry aging. You can't really doubt him. It's longevity. Um, just the history he has with the Warriors in the playoffs. He's it's just whenever he shoots a ball, it makes you lean up a little bit in your seat because you're like, is he really gonna make that shot? Like I remember watching the most recent Olympics they played in.
Yeah, against
Um,
France in the
yeah,
finals,
exactly. Just
pulling
the
up from
con
anywhere.
once he catches fire and gains confidence, he thinks he can shoot from anywhere. He
And
thinks
he
he can
can.
make
We've seen it
he
before.
can
We'll
make
see
any
it again.
shot. And again, like I said, the team that wins that playing game, they catch fire a little bit. They go into the next game. Like look at Texas, for example. They were the I think possibly
They're
the last team
they're the
into the
last of the
tournament.
first four, and yeah,
And all of a sudden you win that one game, catch fire a little bit, and you just roll. And I think the
yeah,
Warriors and Hornets both do that because of the energy that they have around their squads right now after that win.
100%, 100%. The energy and momentum is a lot, especially in playoff environments. The we could start with the matchups here. Let's go with so we think the Warriors are going to win. So potential Thunder versus Warriors matchup there. Um, what do we think the make what's shaking up in that matchup there? You think
I
the
mean,
Thunder are making it?
I think both one seeds take care of the would it be eight seed?
Yeah,
Yeah, both one seeds take care of eight seeds in the NBA playoffs, I think. I think the most games that would go is six. but I could see it being done in 5 for sure,
Yeah,
easily.
I think the Thunder. I think they're going to win. I think probably um, a 5 to 6 game series in that one, and then the Pistons Hornets. If the Hornets could go through and you know definitely lack
LaMelo's
of
fun to
lack lack
watch.
of lack of playoff experience in both teams, and there's definitely
Well,
some
I feel like for
exciting guys as well.
if Hornets played the Pistons for that matchup, I think all skill goes out the window.
It's just whoever
Records
doesn't
go
get
out the
suspended.
window. Not only that, it's who can control their emotions better.
Yeah,
Because all
and
of a sudden you take a stupid technical and you lose the game by a point.
yep, yeah, no, I mean things like that are probably going to happen in that potential matchup. I think the Pistons, honestly, this could be a hot take. I think they go to Game 7.
Mhm. Against the Hornets.
If it's against the Hornets, I could see Game 7. More than likely, I'll probably see a Game 6. I think the Hornets can get 2 out, especially with LaMelo Ball. I mean, you got him doing whatever he can to get the job done there. So
I think the Hornets would take one game.
I think
Uh,
I think they take one game in Detroit and they can get definitely one at home as well. That environment's got to be buzzing there in Charlotte.
is MJ there gonna be there?
No, I think he sold his ownership stake as well.
Is he all in on NASCAR then?
Yeah, he's definitely in that pit crew, getting the championships in a different sport finally. But yeah, so we got both one seeds going through there. Next matchup, we got Lakers Rockets. That's a 4-5 matchup there.
Ronnie
Obviously,
James.
the big headline there is LeBron without Luca or Austin Reeves until further
Bronny.
notice.
Bronny
Yeah, further
time.
notice. So maybe Bronny. Obviously, he's going to come off the bench. I think they got enough guys to put together a starting lineup without Bronny, but he is going to have to step up without a doubt with those two big injuries. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there from the Lakers and the Rockets have kind of been up and down so far this year. Um, but I think if we can have faith in a good old 40 plus LeBron, I think he could carry that sorry Lakers team without those two other
I
stars,
mean,
and
you have
he could get them in.
it's gonna be Aiton, Marcus Smart, Kennard,
Hachimura,
Hachimura, or
and they still have
Jake
Vanderbilt,
Jake
Laravia.
thank you.
Yeah, and
Laravia.
they got Vando, Laravia, and Bronny James off the bench. So they can compete. It's just it depends.
Oh, they have Drew Timmy?
Yeah, the Gonzaga legend.
That's real key postseason experience right there, Drew Timmy, that you
I
need on the
yeah.
squad.
I think I think this is just going to come down to if LeBron has enough juice to get him through, like we've seen in 2016,
Who do they play again?
the Rockets.
KD, LeBron. This is vintage.
It's vintage stuff right here. It's looking good. Uh, uh, it's very hard to not want to pick the Rockets here.
Who's the higher seed?
Lakers
It's three. No,
at four
it's a
five.
4-5.
It's hard not to pick the Rockets due to the lack of players available for the Lakers, but I'm gonna roll with the LeBron Glazers, and I'm gonna have to go with the Lakers here in this matchup. I think they get it done, and I think they get it done in 6 games.
Let me look at
Bronny
something real
James,
quick.
25-point game, marking it here. 25 points off the bench from Bronny.
That is,
I'm kidding. I'll be happy with 10.
I mean, they've been doing well. They've won their last 3 games.
It's definitely a good way to end the season.
Yeah. Before that, they lost their 3 games, but 2 were against OKC. They finished out with a win against Golden State, Phoenix, Utah. Houston, on the other hand, they finished off the season. Let me check real quick. How'd they finish off the season? They finished off the season with 9 wins in their last 10. I'm gonna go Houston. I think
You think
they
it's too much?
the Lakers are gonna struggle without
Yeah.
Luca, And just looking at the top scorers
Without Austin
from
Reeves as well. That's their second option
yeah,
gone.
looking at the top scorers for Houston, I mean it's almost a different guy every night.
Yeah. They definitely mix it up. They got a good young squad. I think if you can get someone to be able to stop Alfred Şengün, then unfortunately you just have to deal with KD at that point. I think if you can find a
Well, I mean,
way,
Amen Thompson dropped 41 the other night.
yeah, I mean yeah, as you can see, it changes night to night. All of those guys will step up at any given moment. I think just from a Lakers standpoint, I think you just have to find a way to stop Alfred Şengün and try and hold KD under 30. I mean,
But who's guarding Sengun? Aiton?
Ayton, Laravia, Hachimura is one of those three. They can bring in Vando. He's a great defender. Don't know how he will do. I mean, they could throw him on KD. I wouldn't want to put 40 plus LeBron on KD, I'll tell you that, but that's
Yeah,
probably
who
what's
does
going to
LeBron
happen.
guard?
Whoever he wants, man, he's the king. He's the king. So we got a little mix up there for us. I think this is the one I know a lot of us are looking forward to. Maybe not so much, but I know a lot of us in our friend group are. We got 3-seeded Nuggets and the 6-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves.
Can I do my pick real quick?
Yeah, rip it.
I'm going Nuggets.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Jokic has been unbelievable.
I'm going Nuggets because I haven't had a prediction right all year.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm going Nuggets.
The honest part of me thinks that, this is the time the Timberwolves aren't going to be able to make it out of Denver. They've been able to get out of there 2 or 3 of the past times they've met up with them in the playoffs. But I got to roll with the Wolves here. I think just Ant-Man, he's different. He's been out with some injury, but I think he potentially sat out a lot longer than what he initially needed because they had the spot locked up. It was just who they were going to match up with. So him playing didn't make a difference. I think he just wanted that extra rest, just so he doesn't come in a little bit hurt, a little bit lingering. And I think we're going to see another classic Ant-Man performance in the playoffs. I mean, he's different, bro.
I think
easily one of the most exciting players to watch,
Yeah.
hands down.
He is the most exciting player to watch because
He is
he
the only other player I put
talks
you could put up
nonstop.
there. 1A, 1B, him and Wemby.
I think
But he's just more electric than Wemby because he's got a bit more emotion.
he has a swagger to him that
Yeah.
a star needs.
He's
He
a
talks
star.
nonstop.
He's the star the state of Minnesota needed for years, man. And they got him. So hopefully they can get past the line this year, man, and at least make the finals because getting to the Western Conference Finals is great. But
they probably have the hardest path.
oh, they do because if they beat the Nuggets, then they get the winner of Spurs or Trailblazers, and then from that they'll probably end up with the Thunder, and then from that they'll probably end up with the Celtics.
Or Knicks.
Celtics. Knicks are
Okay.
ass, man. But yeah, so we got some differences there. I think the Nuggets is going to be a smart pick there, but you can never count out Ant-Man in the playoffs as we've seen year in and year out. Last round in the West, we got 2 Spurs against the 7 Trailblazers. Obviously, I'm rolling with the Spurs here. The Trailblazers have been able to put a pretty good season together. I don't think their expectations were very high. Denny Avdija, whatever his Denny, damn name, man. I'd rather just call him Denny, but he's been balling for sure for the Trailblazers. I think the Spurs are just simply a much better and much well-rounded team. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Wemby's not the leading scorer in this series. I do think Denny's going to be leading the series in scoring. I think Portland just needs him to be their best player on the court, night in, night out. He's going to stand out. But I think the Spurs get it done. I think this goes in 5.
Yeah, I think you could see Wemby actually get rested a lot this series. for the Spurs, especially if they go out and into a fast lead early on in the series.
Yeah.
Um, I think the key for the Trailblazers to win this series is Scoot Henderson.
A little Scoot and Wemby matchup. We were talking who should be the first overall pick a couple years ago between those guys, and now they get their first playoff
This is what
experience,
I'm talking
and it is
about.
against each other. You know, Scoot has been coming back to life a little bit this year, obviously having two amazing guards, kind of being your mentor. You got Dame, who's, giving you all the shooting tips in hell, and you got Drew Holiday, who is showing you how to be an absolute lockdown on defense. So I think that's helped his game as what we've seen this year, and hopefully he can grow into the player I think people were thinking about in that debate there.
Move over to the East.
We got the East here. I think we touched on this a bit earlier. Just a little
Yeah, we
quick
already
recap
talked
here.
the
Pistons,
Pistons.
we think they're going through, I think, in 7. I think you said in
it's
5.
5, yeah.
Next matchup there in the East is 4 Cavs against the 5-seeded Raptors. Reminds us of 2018, man. That's some
You see what
nostalgia
the
there.
Raptors coach said?
I might have missed it.
He said that the guy shouldn't have any trouble with the atmosphere in Cleveland. It's not like we're playing in Europe where they're throwing like bottles at us and like trying
Flares
to
going
fight
off in a
us. Yeah.
stadium. Yeah.
And someone goes, "Man, this isn't Galatasaray. You're playing in Cleveland. It's difficult."
Yeah, I think that's going to be a very good series. Um, if I'm rolling with Cleveland here, I think Cleveland gets it done in 6.
This series goes 7. And I'm gonna go Cleveland as well. I think that game 7 home court advantage will be huge.
I just think the addition of James Harden has been critical to their success past the
Hmm.
trade deadline, but also I think his playoff experience, I think you're really going to see that rise above in this series as well. So I think that's going to be a very crucial piece to their success. Hopefully he stays healthy. I know last playoff, Cavs had quite a few injuries, and that kind of resulted in their early exit. Next matchup here is another fiery one. Unfortunately, no Trae Young in this matchup as the 3-seeded Knicks take on the Hawks. This was a hell of a matchup quite a few years ago when Trae Young was rolling the dice on the Knicks logo, and everyone in New York hated him, and they still hate him. But we got a very good young Hawks team here. Got
Gosh, I wish Trey Young was still on that team, so he would have played against
this would have been electric once again. The Knicks have been good all year. They've been pretty consistent. They've already got the NBA Cup. Not that that really matters, but they've already got one trophy this year, so they're
going
definitely
for the
looking.
double.
They're definitely looking to go for a little double there.
For the double.
And then the
What's a
Hawks.
treble in the NBA?
Maybe if your team gets the G League award in the preseason.
Get the
Or the
first
G
over.
League, the G League playoffs.
Would it be regular season best record, NBA Cup, NBA Finals?
Probably that'd
It
have to
should be
be
the
a little
treble.
trifecta there.
Treble.
Yeah, I mean this matchup's going to be very interesting here. The Hawks, they've obviously gotten on quite a rise, especially after acquiring C.J. McCollum. He's been quite good for them as of late. But the main headline out of Atlanta is Jalen Johnson. He's been absolutely leading the way for the Hawks all season long. Definitely a young player, so it's going to be interesting to see how he performs in a horrible environment like Madison Square Garden. Everyone's going to want your head on a stake there. But hopefully the lights aren't too bright there for the young Hawks squad. I think this one for me is going 7 games with the Knicks getting it done in 7.
I think the Knicks get it done in 6.
Okay.
That's my prediction. I
It's not a bad
think
one.
I think the Knicks take care of the series pretty easily. I think they struggle a little bit at the start, just due to the pressure from the media that gets put on the Knicks.
Yeah.
I think it's a completely different kind of vibe Knicks fans have towards the team. It's a lot more pressure. It's a lot more passionate more passionate, higher status fans. Like if
Yeah.
you look at courtside of Madison Square Garden of a Knicks playoff game, you're going to see the amount of famous people, millionaires, billionaires.
Spike Lee, Ben Stiller, Timothy Chalamet. We'll probably all see it once again.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just that comes to the top of your head. And then you have all the Knicks legends
Yeah.
that show up as well. It's unreal.
That's going to
It's
be a fun series to watch for sure. This one, this next, you said your prediction, right? Yeah, you said Knicks in 6, right?
mhm.
Um, Celtics 76ers, a 2-7 matchup here. Celtics have been unexpectedly good all year long. I think everyone thought this was a rebuild year, a tank year for them, and Jaylen Brown said, hell no, give me the ball. And he's been able to lead that team all year long. And Jason Tatum, man, comes back 10 months post Achilles tear. And that's another piece that the Celtics have plugged in to their already pretty efficient game they've been running. Obviously, their head coach is, in my opinion, the best head coach in the NBA right now. He has done an incredible job with the Celtics. So I got to go with the Celtics in 5 here. I think a little gentleman's sweep action.
I think VJ and Maxi cause a lot of trouble here. I think this series goes all 7 games.
Hey, I'd like that. Hey,
I
game
think
seven's always entertaining.
the environment going back to Philly, I don't think Boston wins a game in Philly.
It's going to be tough.
I think the home
Wins every.
team wins every single game. I think it's just a dogfight the entire time. Every single game is within 10 points. The final, every single game. And yeah, I think VJ and Maxi will cause a lot of problems for Boston. And but I saw Boston pulling out in 7 games.
It's going to be a good series for sure. I'm looking forward to NBA playoffs once again. We can kind of get it over to the ice here, as this is kind of coming around the corner, so we could beat through these fairly quickly here.
Yeah.
I haven't followed a lot of hockey as of late, but obviously with the season coming to an end, I've been following it more and more. So in the Western Conference, we got the Avalanche against the Kings. This one, I'm rolling with the Avs. I'm rolling with the Avs in 4.
Yeah, Avs best team in hockey right now. The only question mark is their goaltending, which will be more of a question towards the Western Conference Finals. I'm going the Avs.
For sure. This matchup, I know a lot of fans in the Western Conference fan base are looking forward to this. We got the Stars Wild once again, the Wild seeking to make it out of the first round. They have yet to do that in quite some time. And I'm rolling with it here. The Wild are making it out of the first round this year. They've been able to get a great squad going. I think the addition of Quinn Hughes has been very good for their team as they've been running his ass into the ice.
Yeah, he hasn't practiced.
No need when you're
He's
putting up all those minutes on the ice.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Wild here. I think the
I'm going to go
North
7
Stars,
games.
the North Stars moved away from Minnesota, so it's kind of a little bit of it's a little
Rivalry.
touchy game
Yeah.
for Minnesota people.
It's going to be a good series. That's all I know. Next one up in the West, we got Golden Knights against the Utah Mammoth. First playoffs in the Utah Mammoth history of that franchise. I'm rolling with the Knights. I'm rolling with the Knights in 4. Once again, I think it's another one-seeded sweep. The Mammoth have been pretty good all year, but I think with the Golden Knights and they got John Tortorella as
Yeah,
their manager.
they fired their head coach 9 games ago and put their had now Torts is their head coach.
Yeah, he's their head coach
He
now.
hasn't lost a game in regulation. He's 7-0-1.
They've been
And
absolutely incredible with him as of late. So
and
that is why I'm rolling with him.
Torts gets energy out of guys that not a lot of head coaches can do. And Vegas, ever since they became a franchise, they've always been in the playoffs. And I don't think it stops here. I think they take care of business pretty easily. But I think that first playoff game in Utah is going to be electric.
Yeah, no, that atmosphere is going to be great for sure. Another interesting matchup here. We got the Oilers Ducks, a little 2-3 matchup. I'm a Ducks fan, so you know where this is going to go. But the Ducks making it back to the playoffs in about 8 years, so it's been some time. I know Anaheim is going to be bumping, but obviously Edmonton, they've been to back-to-back finals. They're looking to get back this year and to actually get their hands on the cup this time. So I know it's going to be a very tough matchup. But I don't know. This is not going to happen. But I'm sticking with it. We're rolling with the Ducks. We're rolling with the Ducks in 6.
Uh, I'm gonna go with the Oilers.
Yeah.
They're just too skilled.
Yeah.
I think uh, the Ducks adding John Carlson does help the defensive unit with experience, especially playoff experience. It's a little bit of a young squad for the Ducks as well.
Yeah.
Uh, but I just think Edmonton is with Draisaitl and McDavid. Just those two names alone can flip a whole series on its head.
And they got the Stanley Cup experience for sure. So it's going to be a tough battle as a Ducks fan. We can swing it over to the East here. We got the Sabres, who have kind of shocked the world this season against the
Yeah.
four-seeded Boston Bruins. This matchup, I'm rolling with the Sabres. I'm rolling with the Sabres in 5 in this series. I think they can get out of this round pretty easily, but I think that next round could be trouble for them.
Yeah, the Sabres are ended the longest playoff drought in NHL history, I believe it was, this year.
Yeah,
And what a way to do it by being the number one seed in the East. Uh, I believe that the Sabres will win in 5 games, and I think that they might win the first game 5-0. Just the
it's
atmosphere
gonna be
in Buffalo
electric
is
in
going to be
Buffalo, man.
unreal.
It's gonna be absolutely unbelievable. Another pretty elite atmosphere from what I've been able to see is the Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the Montreal Canadiens in this 2-3 matchup here.
Are you going to
I
go to a
think
game?
no, the ticket prices are pretty expensive. But if the Ducks find their way to the finals against the Lightning, then I'll have to go. But this is going to be a tough matchup. I think the Lightning get it done. The Lightning get it done in 5. I think they got the better goaltender here, and I think that's gonna definitely pay dividends in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against Vasilevsky with all his playoff experience, but I'm gonna go with the Canadians in 6.
Okay.
Canadians are fun to watch. Caulfield is unreal. Uh, he's just a natural goal scorer, and I think the atmosphere and a lot of NHL playoff games have to do with atmosphere and the home crowd, and I believe that Montreal fan base is probably one of the most passionate fan bases in the NHL. And when they are fully behind that team, which they are, that team's unstoppable.
Yeah, it's going to be a great series. I think another team that is definitely a heavy favorite in this Stanley Cup playoffs is the Hurricanes as they take on the Ottawa Senators. A little 1-4 matchup there in the East. I think the Canes get it done. I think they get it done in 4.
Yeah, uh, I think Ottawa's gonna try and play the bad guy here, by doing everything possible to get under the Hurricanes' skin. It's gonna be a physical series, I believe. I think the Hurricanes get it done in 6.
It's going to be a great series, but I think one that's going to be better is a little Pennsylvania battle here. We
This
got the
is this
Pittsburgh
is
Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers, a
this is
2-3
fun to
matchup here.
watch.
This is going to be exciting. Just want to double check here before my prediction. I believe Sidney Crosby has been back.
Yeah,
Okay,
he
yeah.
he's back.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Just wanted to double check as I don't see a lot of action out of the East. I'm rolling with the Penguins here. 4-game sweep.
I'm going with the Flyers. Um, Minnesota kid got called up. Alex Bump. Uh, he's my age or our age. He got called up late in the season. Uh, Philadelphia's kind of had a late push here into to get into the playoffs. They weren't looking to they it didn't look seem like they're gonna make the playoffs. They're a physical, put your head down and work team. And I think that 7 games, this series goes all 7 games. It's gonna be physical. Battle of Pennsylvania, like you said. And if you think about if you go back to like 2014, 15, when these teams were playing against each other in the playoffs, there's always a line brawl every single game at least once,
It's going to be
and
electric.
expect more of it
Oh
this
yeah,
playoffs.
a lot of these matchups are incredible. I think this is going to be a very fun series. Yeah, I mean with the it's going to be an interesting matchup there in Pennsylvania, and I think the Stanley Cup playoffs as a whole is going to be very exciting. From an American standpoint, we got two sports closing down here with some exciting playoffs. But as we flip it over to the other side of the globe, their global sport, football, soccer, that is also coming to an end, but they do it a very different way. No playoffs. You just get enough points and you survive, or you lose millions of dollars in some cases. I think, obviously the storyline for the past couple weeks is Tottenham. With
Hmm.
Tottenham and West Ham, that's kind of the battle there. Or even Nottingham Forest is still kind of in that category.
With,
Um,
I mean, Forest are only 1 point above West Ham, 3 points above Tottenham, and Leeds are 6 points clear of the bottom.
I think Leeds has put themselves in a good spot with I believe 6 games to go.
A win against Wolves here would be huge.
Yeah, the win against United was unfortunate for us, but it was huge for Leeds United in their quest to stay up. And I believe 3 of their 6 matches are home, which Leeds has
Well,
done.
3 of their 6 matches, or actually 4 of their 6 matches are teams below them.
And how many are home for Leeds?
Three.
Yeah, so half their games are home, and that's where they've been dominant this year. So I think that gives them a great confidence boost going into the last couple game weeks here. At this point, Tottenham is now in the relegation zone. We've touched on it about every pod for the last couple weeks. But as the season's looking more to a close, are we rolling with Tottenham going down? Do you think
I'm
they find a way to
honestly,
stay up?
I'm lost on
I
how
think
to
every
answer
football
that.
fan is.
How to answer that. I see a lot of people saying just that it's not the players that you want to have for a relegation battle. It's not. The players are meant were just playing in the Champions League a few weeks ago, and now they're playing
To survive.
to survive.
Yeah.
And these players aren't meant to be played to survive. Maybe Christian Romero is just based on how aggressive he is and passionate he is for the club, but you don't have the guys that are truly love the club. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
you don't
saying?
have those guys, and the guys you do have that should be able to keep you up are injured for the most part or have been playing so bad this year. You can't tell the difference from a Wolves player to a Tottenham player. They've been
Like,
absolutely horrific.
if you see Leeds play,
They
guys are
play they
just
they play
they're doing
with
everything
belief
po
for each other,
possible.
and that's the
Well,
thing
not only
Tottenham
that, they're
lacks.
doing everything possible
Yeah.
to win the game. They don't care if
Saw what they did Monday. They went into Old Trafford and got a huge win against Man United.
yeah, they don't care about how they play. They don't care about build up play. They don't care about the individual stuff. They win as a team. And it's like they haven't lost in their last 5 games. Or excuse me, they haven't lost in their last 5 games in Prem games. They haven't lost in their last three. And Leeds are still in the FA Cup. They're in the FA Cup semifinals as well. Um, Leeds do have a real easy path here the rest of the way out with Wolves, uh, Bournemouth, Burnley, Tottenham, Brighton, West Ham. Two of those last 3 games are
Against
straight relegation.
yeah,
Those decide relegation right then and there.
that matchup against Tottenham is huge. And then final match day against West Ham, that could be huge for both squads. Whether at that point West Ham needs, a point or 3 points to stay up. Um, yeah, it's just going to be so crucial. Um, it's just going to suck if Tottenham goes down, but also from a player standpoint, if
No,
you
it's
kind
not.
well, no, I mean just a club like that
No,
going down to
it's
the
not gonna
championship.
suck. Come
Uh,
on, you aren't gonna feel bad. You aren't
No,
gonna
I
go
mean
there.
it's just not what you would like to see, but
It's part of the sport. It's
it's
part of
it's
the
part it's
sport.
part of their sport. And also, if you're a player and you know you have a relegation clause and you kind of want to get out of Tottenham, do you really think they're trying? Do you really think they're trying?
I'm not sure. I mean, they have Brighton. They're away at Wolves, which will be difficult. Away at Villa, home at Leeds, which will be difficult. Away at Chelsea, which will be difficult. I mean, that's London derby right there. And you know, every single Chelsea fan wants Tottenham to go down.
Oh yeah, I think
And
there's
then
quite a few more fan bases that do.
and then they finish the season off against Everton. And Everton are fighting for Europe right now.
Yeah, I mean that last spot for Europe is definitely a close race as the last game weeks here approach. But yeah, I mean the relegation battles amongst all of the leagues in Europe, I think we'll touch on a few here, are just very interesting and very crucial to kind of the. I mean, yeah, it's crucial because they're going to stay up or go down, but just interesting to see some big clubs in some hard spots. But we do know now that the one team coming up to replace one of the three relegated sides is Coventry City, led by Frank Lampard. And, right, yeah, I believe don't want to mess
Hmm.
it up. He's their
It
manager, yep.
is.
And obviously, American Haji Wright has been quite good for them as well this year. But they've got their spot, so they're coming up. That's going to be huge. And then, the battle for the remaining playoff spots in the championship are going to be very interesting.
I mean,
With
it's a fight between Ipswich, Millwall, Southampton, and Middlesbrough
Yeah, and
for that last for sure promotion
for the
spot.
last automatic. And the thing, Ipswich has a game in hand, so they are in a very good spot to stay up. And it'll be interesting to see once the playoffs happen because that is a huge deal. Getting that last promotion spot, that just means millions of dollars coming in. But
Mhm.
on the bottom of that table, we have an unfortunate case of Leicester down there in the relegation zone at 41 points, and they are 5 points from safety. Not a good look from a former Premier League winner.
Yeah,
Thoughts on Leicester and what the deal is. They obviously had a point deduction,
that
but
I mean, they're still down there with a point deduction.
I think the point deduction puts them right above.
Yeah, but they're still down there.
Either way, they're down where they shouldn't be. As a squad with some recent history and success as they've had, it's not a good look to see them potentially going into League One.
Yeah, I mean, I think Leicester's a team you just throw a bunch of guys together that have some high reputation around the leagues, have played in some high leagues, and they just aren't made for the championship. That's all it is. Championship's a different kind of
It's a different beast. The amount of games they play, it's
the
very
physicality, and you go to some of these grounds and it's like, what are we playing on? The grass is a
yes,
little bit longer. They it's a little bit more narrow. It feels like the fans are right on top of you. Hostile atmosphere. Obviously, yes, they're professionals. They get paid millions to do this. But uh, when you have, like I saw TalkSport talking about it, about luxury play or champagne players and pint players.
yep,
You have champagne players in the championship. It's not going to work out.
yeah. It hasn't worked out for them at all, and who knows? They're going down.
Winning the Prem in 2016, and now
10 year difference.
they're gonna be in
Premier
League
League
One.
winner to League One. Reverse Wrexham. But I'm not sure if you had any more ideas on some other leagues you wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going through the one I had. This is more of a kind of the making waves part of it is over in League One, over in France. You got a very close race between PSG and Lens. 1 point difference, but PSG with 2 games in hand.
Yeah. The two games in hand just make it gonna be a
Yeah,
huge
it makes it that
difference.
much harder.
Yeah. I get that PSG still has Champions League. Um, are they in the cup
I
still?
believe. I
No,
believe
they
they're
aren't. They
they're
aren't in
not.
the cup. So they lost to Paris FC in the cup. So one less
Their
competition
rival,
they
right across the street.
one less competition they have to worry about. But
Yeah,
those two games in hand are huge.
they're huge, and they're
Um,
still definitely looking to get that double championship in terms of the Champions League and getting their own league as well, getting on top of that. So that's probably two more trophies in the cabinet there.
yeah, I mean, I think on the other end, Nice. Looking at relegation,
Yeah, it's
they were
looking
they're in the Europa they were in the Europa League this year, and now they're
4 points
fighting
above the zone.
they're fighting that qualification relegation game. Um, I think they'll be safe, but it's worrying for the following year. Are they facing some financial problems as well with being that low?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Bundesliga, you have Wolfsburg in the
Oof.
relegation zone. And I was scrolling back here, all the way back in 2010, 11. That's how far back this historical table position goes on FootMob, and they're in Bundesliga. So they've
Yeah,
been in the
they've
Bundesliga for 16 years for that I know of. How long has Wolfsburg been Bundesliga? 29 consecutive seasons.
yeah, I mean that's definitely very shocking to see a club with that history in that zone. But yeah, I mean it's tough. They are 7 points away
They
from
they
safety.
won the title in 08, 09, and they're 100% either getting relegated, either they're
It's
for
tough.
sure
They're
in
they're
the
looking like they're getting
relegation.
relegated.
They're for sure in the relegation playoff. I think 100% if they somehow can get there.
Yeah, they just have to squeeze out a couple more points ahead of St. Pauli there to get that relegation playoff spot, but not a good look
And they have
in
Bayern on their
Germany.
schedule
Yeah, I
and
mean
Freiburg
Germany
and
at this point has
Gladbach.
Germany's basically
They
yeah
play
that
Union Berlin this tomorrow, which will be
interesting female coach
first.
breaking
Yeah,
waves over there. So it'll be
I
interesting to see what happens there.
yeah, it's gonna be. I'm curious on how that's gonna play out.
Might have to tune in or at least see some highlights there
It's
in that
9:30
match.
your time, so.
I'll be up anyway, going to the Fan Fest.
Oh, you're going.
Yes, sir. Get to
And then
stand in the sun all day.
my the last Spain La Liga have the weekend off.
Yeah, I think so. From what I was hearing and watching the Champions League.
Oh yeah, they have midweek next week. Sevilla are only 2 points clear of relegation. I mean, this whole relegation battle for La Liga here from 18th to 9th is separated by 7 points.
Yeah, it's definitely close. Yeah, I mean, holy, that's a pretty big squad to be in that position in the table. Obviously, at this point,
Nine,
they
19th,
are
19th,
safe.
19th from 9th is 10 points separated. I mean,
Yeah, anything will happen.
If Elche win, they jump up to 15th. You have Athletic Bilbao who could be relegated and they're sitting in 11th.
Obviously, I don't think that will happen, but that is still a possibility for sure.
Like, yeah, but they're they're only 6 points clear.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute race to see who gets relegated there. I think it could go in a million different directions in the Liga between all the squads, and the point difference with it being so close. I yeah, I think at this point too, it's going to be hard to. I think Barcelona is going to make it out on top of that one as well.
Yeah, they
Once
pretty much
again,
locked up the league. They're 9 points clear of
nine
Real
points
Madrid.
clear, and Barcelona has looked pretty good so far this year. Obviously, this week didn't go their way in Champions League, but now without that competition, they could put their focus back on really putting the league title to bed there, which I
I
would
think,
imagine
yeah,
they'll do in a
they'll
game or
do
two.
it pretty easily.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's been a lot of interesting matchups, or not matchups, but kind of situations for some of the bigger known clubs in the world to be in. And, with probably about 6 games left for a lot of these leagues, it's going to be quite interesting to see how it turns up, who gets relegated, who stays up, and in some cases, who can get that promotion from a League Two up to their top league in their country. So that'll be quite interesting there. And yeah, that's definitely something to look out for there. If I think if you got anything else, I think that's about all the teams I've had to watch on so far.
Hmm.
Obviously, the Prem has got a lot of eyes on it with this weekend with the Man City Arsenal matchup, and we got the Merseyside Derby, right? Everton, Liverpool. First game at Everton's stadium for Liverpool, I believe. At Hill Dickinson Stadium.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, a
Sorry,
lot of good You're good.
I didn't realize David Montgomery also has a matching tattoo with Gibbs. The Sonic.
Sonic and Knuckles.
He has knuckles on his back, and I didn't realize he had knuckles on his back.
Yeah, a lot of interesting people out there, interesting tattoos. Saw Donnarumma would get a Batman tattoo.
Yeah, I
So,
just scrolled past that.
yeah. But with the City Arsenal matchup, real quick, how do you think that battle is going to go?
City kill him. I think City is just
On a
on
roll.
fire. On fire. Arsenal's going to come out playing scared. Saka's hurt, so they're going to play Madueke out there. And
Are you
he's
sure? Didn't he get hurt?
did he get hurt as well? Yeah,
I
I
think
saw
he
him
got hurt in
limping.
Champions League.
Let me look at the injury report real quick. I think City takes care of business pretty easily. Oh my gosh, Dalman's gonna start. Oh my gosh.
They're cooked. They are so cooked.
Yeah.
They also don't have
Odegaard, Timber,
Moreno.
Mourinho, O'Reilly's doubtful.
I think O'Reilly's fine. He'll be. I think what will happen is because it's a double match week for him, O'Reilly will play against Arsenal. Maybe come off 60th, 70th minute mark, something like
They
that,
play
and
Burnley
then
midweek.
but
So
I think he sits against Burnley is my imagination. That's how I think that's going to go. But yeah, City's on a roll right now, and I think they're going to get it done. There's not a doubt in my mind. Defensively, they've been quite sound with Mark Gahey and the guy from Uzbekistan. So
Kuzminov.
yeah, we'll roll with that. And yeah, I think City gets it done. They close the gap, and ultimately, I wouldn't be surprised if we see another bottle job out of Arsenal there.
That'd be so funny.
But
That'd be
hopefully,
amazing.
we'll be able to find out after this weekend, kind of where the league shapes up and who could potentially get the title there in the Premier League. But without that, that is I think that's going to do it for episode 31 here on Section for Fans. See you next time.